Well, the next night on Nitro is pretty notable as WCW is in Panama City, Florida. And not only do you advance in your rivalry with DDP by defeating Benoit to earn a shot at the U.S. title, but you also make a really fascinating reference, and we've got the clip of that right now.
Unfortunately for you, you must feel the even flow. DDP didn't have to be like this, Paige. It didn't have to be like this. You and I, we could have ruled wrestling together, side by side. But a long time ago, you deserted me. You turned your back on me. And now, there can be only one. I know the snake is out there watching, and I know that he'd want it this way. Quote the Raven, nevermore.
So I had to throw that in there, especially the reference to Jake. I mean, this thing, it whipped fans into a frenzy back in those days, thinking that all of a sudden Jake was coming in. And it wasn't the first or the last time that you'd referenced Jake in one of your promos. What prompted this?
The paying homage to my to the guy I thought was one of the one of the two best workers in the business. Even at the time, I thought they were one of the two best. I mean, at the time, I still do. I mean, it's just I've always felt that way. And my hero, like originally, my hero was Michael P.S. Hayes, not for his work rate, but for his his style and his his charisma and so forth.
Yeah.
And that's who I wanted to be when I first started. But when I became Raven, Jake was my complete role model. I mean, there's definitely some Kevin Sullivan in there too, but it's really Jake. It's sitting in the corner. I got the idea from Jake as he would slither in the corner and pull himself up. I was like, why don't I just sit in the corner and just stay there?
Oh, cool.
And then I use the same way he does to pull himself to get up from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, grab the top rope and kind of.
Yeah. But although with my shoulder, after my shoulder got really bad, it was like, I hate having to reach up for the. Because I had my left shoulder replaced like 10 years ago, and it was so painful that I held off getting the other one, but the other one's getting so bad, I got to get the other one done in this year.
Oh no!
And I just had my knees done last year, so my Selena thinks that she's replacing me part by part.
One piece at a time, like that.
One piece at a time. Song. Yeah.
Were you trying at all to get in touch with Jake or to pitch WCW on bringing him in at this time?
I think so. I think Paige was too.
Man, it would have been cool, especially seeing him as a member of the flock. Holy shit, that could have been.
I always wanted to be under Jake's learning tree, but it's funny. Like Disco rode with him for a while, and I was always jealous of that. But I was much happier working full time than having to drive Jake around to indie shows. But by the same token, I really felt like I would have loved to have, I missed out by not having of course, who wants to not have, Disco would have much rather had a job, as so would I. So, because I stayed fully employed for in the wrestling business for 30 years, which is hard to do.
Incredible. Yeah.
But I always missed out. I always was like, Disco got to spend the time with him, the bastard.
I mean, yeah, imagine those car rides. Probably a lot of fun. Very interesting to hear his take. And I always hear you guys say you kind of learn things on the road.